Heyo, Valiant Versatile here, and we're back with another video with Pakistan Embassy mission on perfectionist difficulty. And yeah, we're gonna get through waves 6 to 10. Yeah, 6 to 10. So yeah. So right off the bat, I'm gonna be going really fast and explain in just kind of keep the video kind of short. So I'll just try to talk as much as possible. So what I'm doing here is just spawn camping the soldiers. It's a good idea if you have line of sight and just spawn camp them. Yeah, they will not notice that enemies get taken out when they're spawning into the map. Take note about that and take advantage of that. When yeah, so we're gonna talk more about the helmet guys actually. So the helmet guys, do keep in mind, how do you know if the guy has a helmet? You can always like use your mark to check and it will pop out like a helmet icon on it, or you can just look if a soldier has a helmet on his head. Yeah, these helmets are really good. It blocks headshots once, and then it will like yeah, block headshots one time and it gets knocked off, and it's really annoying. So you can't like one shot helmet guys, well, at least with a headshot anyway. But there are ways and counters to it. Right there you just saw that I landed right next to the guy. He heard me land next to him, so that's one downside. Yeah, that the stealth suit doesn't muffle your landing noises, unfortunately. Helmet guys are vulnerable to sticky shockers and sleeping gas. And it one-shots them, so I like the crossbow for that reason. But do keep in mind with the sticky shocker, make sure you don't hit the helmet. It will not knock off his helmet. If you use a sticky shocker, it will kind of like ricochet off, and he will still have his helmet on. So do keep that in mind when you're using the crossbow. Unless you're playing on a lower difficulty, and you can use execute to knock off the helmet. So let's say like as the armored infantry with the gas mask and helmet, you could use execute with the crossbow with sleeping gas, and you'll knock off the helmet guaranteed. Because any execute move, you can use the noisemaker and use execute, and you'll knock off enemy's helmet, which is, I find that pretty funny, which normally it wouldn't, you know. So yeah, you could also like just shoot him a couple of times on the body. It takes 2 shots from a sniper rifle on perfectionist, but if it's realistic or low, I believe it's just 1 shot on the body, on the torso area. Or if you're very fast with your quick draw, you can double tap with your pistol, or any of your like alternate guns. Like let's say you're using the shotgun or something. Yeah, you can shoot him in the torso, double tap him real quick, knock off the helmet, and then follow up with a next shot to headshot him. Yeah, that's how you do it with the helmet guys and the armored infantry guys. So if you have a controller and you don't have the complete stealth gear, or maybe you want a little bit of armor, which it helps a little bit on the highest difficulty, just a little bit, but not a lot. You still die pretty fast, but it does help a bit. You could the benefit of using a controller is like you can slowly push the stick. Well, on PC you need to dedicate it to a button. You move like to a crawl basically, which sucks. So at least with the controller you can kind of push the stick to control it a little bit, and you move a little bit faster while slow walking. So the controller is best for that. But yeah, so in the first part I didn't really mention much about the crossbow. So the crossbow is a projectile weapon, so what that means is that it takes time to travel, and there's a arc, like a gravity fall off. So you need to keep that in mind and calculate your shots properly when using it at long range. Um, yeah, do better at mine when using the crossbow. But once you understand and master it, you use it so fluidly. It's like your favorite weapon ever because it just one shots most soldiers out there. Besides armored soldiers, of course, there's not much to do against them. But there are still some counters you could do against armored infantry. So yeah, I thought it's not really worth mentioning, but I'll just briefly mention it here that whenever you have like one enemy left, it will always have like an indicator. Hey, this is where the last guy is, which I thought is pretty nice. That the game tells you, hey, this is where the last guy is. You know, go get him. You know, so just keep that in mind. If there's the last guy, there will be like a waypoint on him. So yeah. Since I see at least there's like some people or a few people watching the video, I thought I'd keep it up. So yeah, doing the spawn camping thing like I talked about, I took out like 5 guys just by doing that, and that's like 5 enemies out of the way. So it's always worth going for the spawn camps. If the dog barks, immediately take it out so that it will not track or corral enemies to look towards the dog's barking direction. Like if the dog barks and there's enemies nearby, the enemy all look towards the dog's barking direction to see like what's going on and stuff. So yeah, dogs are super annoying. As mentioned previously, dogs, yeah, they generally will go towards your vicinity and try to find you, and they can sniff you out. So be aware. Yeah, and their barking attracts enemy soldiers to look towards that direction of where they're barking, and also sometimes enemy soldiers will kind of like come here boy, and then the dog will quickly run over to the enemy soldier who like, you know, holler the dog over, you know. So you can pay attention to, yeah, so paying attention to enemy dialogue is super important. I thought I had sticky camera equipped, and I accidentally threw my last sleeping gas grenade by accident, and that was a mistake. That was really dumb. So yeah, it's pretty dumb of me. I think the first video, there's not much to really talk about since it's just regular dudes and HVTs, which we'll talk more about the HVTs as I get into wave 10 on the second wave. I assume that you played some of the main games, so you understand some of the gameplay mechanics going by that, and maybe now you're doing the embassy after you completed the story mission, or maybe you're halfway through, but you do understand some of the game mechanics and stuff like that. But yeah, I just thought well, since this is a beginner's guide, I should just talk about it briefly and just touch on it, and maybe you guys will learn a thing or two about this game. Yeah, and especially if you're gonna do all 20 waves of the embassies, it can be quite a challenge, especially if you're a beginner at this game. So I thought I'd just go over some stuff. So yeah. In the first video, I just talk about just go around, take down people. You know, it's very easy. Just use the crossbow. You can use whatever equipment you have on hand, gadgets and stuff. You know, but we'll go over more about the equipment. So with the pistol, if you're using a pistol, like make sure the guy doesn't have a helmet. Because if you're going up against a helmet soldier and you're using your pistol, it takes a couple of shots, so that's not very clean. They sometimes the enemy can armor your shots, or like multiple shots can, you know, get you detected. So that's why you always want like the cleanest move possible. And cleanest move as in the fewest move possible. You don't need to like follow up on things. That's why I kept it simple. Use your crossbow, and use takedowns. You know, keep it very simple. And when you get spotted, just run away. And that's pretty much my first video guide. Mostly, I just covered some of the um, yeah, very general basics on what you should do in strategy. So yeah, I talked about like just hide up in the embassy. So you can see enemies will start spawning in the embassy in the later waves. So embassy becomes a little bit more dangerous, but still the safest place. So probably on the late game waves, you'll see me kind of go away from the embassy and kind of flank the enemy, since they're all kind of like grouped up in the embassies like one stronghold. So you definitely don't want to like be surrounded, so to speak. So definitely you wanna kind of remain outside the embassy, but kind of near it as well. That's the thing about it. Yeah. I didn't think anybody would watch the embassy guides, but since there are people watching, I thought I should go more in depth and put in more effort into it, because I felt like the first time I made the video, I was kind of nervous and I was having a difficult time. But anyway, that's not really important right now. Anyway, um, so again, this is where you will get the dead drop, that little flash drive, and this is the safe spot. So enemies cannot climb. That's a unique ability to Sam Fisher. So obviously this is inaccessible. So if you get spotted, this is like an absolutely safe place to be. They cannot reach you. I think they can still throw a grenade over the fence. Just be careful about that. But they rarely do that. And if you see that they throw a grenade over the fence, get ready to just run to like one of the corners and hide behind the box. There's like a little cover box. It should be enough to avoid the grenade. Yeah, as long as you're behind cover. So that box, even though it's a wooden box, it can save your life. So this is one of the safest dead drop dead drop locations, or those safe spots you could get to in the game. There's like other embassies like Swiss embassy, Egypt embassy, and Russian embassy, but Pakistan is by far the safest safe spot, I believe. I think tied with Egyptian embassy, but however, Egyptian embassy takes a really long time to get to, get you killed just going there, but it's very safe. Again, I think the least safe one is probably Russian embassy and Swiss embassy, and in my opinion, Swiss embassy is like the most difficult. Which up next will be Swiss embassy. We're gonna go by order of how you unlock the embassy. So Pakistan, Swiss, Egypt, and Russian embassy. So yeah, we're gonna go in order like that. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're gonna be going through wave 1 to 20 with the Pakistan embassy before we move on to the next one. So I already done up all the waves. Now I just need to think about what to write for the commentary for the part 3 and 4. Yeah, and it will be out soon. Like I'm quite busy with with my studies and stuff, so yeah, it might take a while for me to put together a video. I'm just like one person, so yeah, I need to record gameplay, and it takes a lot of time to do the embassy missions. Yeah, and yeah, these embassy missions takes a long time, and to make sure I know what to write for the commentary so that people learn something at least is important, and what I would find useful. And yeah, of course we also want to go through the embassy and not just talk about strategies and stuff. If there's no gameplay and if I don't even complete the waves, then how would you know that the strategy works, you know? So yeah, I still need to record gameplay for the entire wave, and it takes a long time. So proximity shockers is like, yeah, basically you get like one free knockout automatically for free. You don't have to do anything. So yeah, for that reason, proximity shockers is super handy. Um, yeah, so proximity shockers gadgets super handy. And again, for perfectionist difficulty, you can be kind of cheap to complete it. Just you can use all your gadgets and equipment if you want. I personally don't need it because I like to just try to do as many waves as possible without having to restart last checkpoint and all that. Yeah, but what I would recommend if you're going through perfectionist difficulty for the first thing, just restart last checkpoint every time there's a new wave. The annoying thing is the area gets reset, like talked about in the last video. That's the only annoying thing about it. But just restart last checkpoint. All your equipment will be back again, and yeah, you. Oh my god, that guy just flew up into the tree. I thought it was pretty funny that it happened, and I'm so glad that was on recording. That was funny. That guy just got so shocked that he just got driven up the tree. That's hilarious. Yeah. Just save scum basically. Just restart last checkpoint. Your entire arsenal gets refilled for free. So yeah. If you're not playing for score, you just want to get through it. Just do that. But even if you are playing for score, I don't think there's any high scoreboard for the embassy. I believe, because it just takes way too long, and theoretically there is a highest possible score if you calculate all the hostiles for each wave plus the no retry bonus plus the stay and fight bonus. And then you can work out like what is the highest possible score you could possibly get. But I think that doesn't most people don't really care about high scores anyway, and B, even if they do, it's literally impossible to get like the highest possible score in the 20 and do all 20 waves like seamlessly. It takes a lot of time and luck to do it. But theoretically, you would try to get as many non-lethal takedowns as much as possible, and then do silent kills every so often, and you should get like a pretty decent score. Yeah. So there's not really much to talk about when it comes to score. It's pretty self-explanatory. I think like it's pretty easy to understand. Any equipment that's not stealthy, like explosions, like frag grenades or proximity mines, they count as combat kills because they're loud. So there's no such thing as a stealth silent kill with a frag grenade. Even though you killed them while you're being stealthy, it doesn't count. So you actually lose out on 50 points. Whichever difficulty it is, like you lose out on 50 points because yeah, you get a bonus. So if we kind of use like non-lethal, so I just did a non-lethal takedown, is 225 for stealth knockout and 200 for silent kill and 175 for combat kills, and that's on the perfectionist difficulty. So if you do the math in your head, do the maths. What am I? I can't speak. Do the maths in your head. You lose out on 25 points if you're doing silent silent kill instead of non-lethal takedowns. And if you do combat kills, you lose out on 50. So definitely, stealth kills and stealth knockouts are the best for score. So just stick to that, unless you're doing something specific like mastery in combat and silent penta style and ghost style. What you can do is just calculate like based on what difficulty you're playing on, and then deduce like how much points you would need in order to get the get that mastery basically. Like let's for example, like let's say you want combat mastery on perfectionist and it's like 10k points. Then you just calculate, okay, so on perfectionist difficulty 175 points is a combat kill or combat knockout. I think there's even a combat kill or knockout, I think. Or is it just both in the same category? I think it's both 175. I could be wrong. Somebody do correct me in the comments. Yeah, I think there's even a category for combat knockout, I think. Or is it both the same? Combat knockout I know it's different, but I think the score might be slightly different, or maybe it's the same. I can't remember. It's been like years since I played this game, but yeah. Yeah. The last time I played this game was like on the Embassy. I did play Embassy last and with a friend on co-op. Like we can play like local, but the online servers has been shut down long time ago. But yeah, I do know that you can still play on local. So right there is like pay attention. I didn't do like a takedown immediately. I could have. And yeah. Right. I think we've dragged on long enough. So now we need to talk about the new enemy types, the commandos. The commandos are basically these, you know, glowy red eye motherfuckers right here. Yeah, but these guys with the night vision goggles, they're super deadly. They are fast and aggressive and really deadly. They are like, yeah, a tier up from your regular enemies. They have like night vision, so they see better. They have better vision, you know. Detecting you, yeah, basically. They once they spot you, they'll do a combat roll, and then, so yeah, I think most of the time they do a combat roll and attack you, or attack you and then combat roll and attack you. They would dodge out of the way, so do be aware. Commandos are much more, also more prone to repel your takedown from the front, so be aware of that. And again, if let's say you want to do a front takedown and you're spotted, immediately switch to lethal and then switch to your pistol. Shoot him to stun so that he won't get any wise idea of rolling away, or you know, just click him to death with your pistol or your alternate weapon. If let's say you have like assault rifle or shotgun or something like that, just click him to death with your weapon very quickly. The crossbow, if you miss, it's more likely that you'll miss because it's a single shot weapon with the crossbow. You can follow up with another shot if he rolls and you anticipate it, but what I would recommend, if just shoot him and then switch to lethal and then you stab him with a knife. If more than likely you will get an opportunity to stab him. That's what I found. Shoot to stun and then stab him. If you're going for a takedown anyway, but it's quite risky. I would recommend just using a gun. Super safe. If you're scared of missing, you could just, if you already have like the sleeping gas dart equipped, just shoot the floor. Even if he rolls, like he's gonna roll into the gas. So there are definitely strategies and ways to counter the commandos and stuff like that. So I think going later into the waves, I think I use more lethal options and stuff like that. But we'll see. I think for wave 6 and 10, I still mostly use oh, that's so sweet, the triple takedown. So if there's a puddle of water, it's like a minor game mechanic. If you use an electric weapon like the proxy shocker or the sticky shocker with the crossbow, you can actually knock out more than one guy if they stand over a puddle, which is pretty sweet. Yeah. Now I'm not really sure what if ledge takedowns do work on the armored guys. I think you're not allowed to have the prompt. Like you can't do a ledge takedown on armored guys, like if I'm not wrong. Yeah. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure you can't. And if you try a cover takedown, the game will allow you. But if you do a cover takedown from the front, the armored guys 100% will repel you. Like the armored guys is a guarantee, 100% repel. So never ever ever do a takedown on armored guys from the front. You are gonna get yourself killed. So anyway, coming back to the HVT round, so right here, as mentioned, so it takes a bit of time for them to like kind of spawn in and then realize start their normal AI routine. They have like a bit of like time to warm up at the beginning. So let's say you're rushing towards a spawn location, you can just immediately take them out without any problems. They won't detect you as they're coming out through their spawn door. You just spawn, spawn camp them. Yeah, so luckily we get the good pattern on the first HVT. Right now the second HVT is kind of like out in the open, which is not ideal. So I equipped smoke bombs. Smoke bombs is super good. To just like, knock out the HVT, and if there's a crowd of dudes right there, because you want to bag and tag the HVT as fast as possible. Yeah, and not delay, so that you can focus on the waves and take your time. It doesn't matter if you get detected if you do the objective fast. You know what I mean? Like that's done. Now I can focus on the wave. Even if they see the smoke, they get suspicious and it's like, oh my god, there's smoke over there. But it's no big deal. Like they know there's enemy presence anyway, so like it doesn't really matter so much. They kind of get suspicious, but they don't go into like combat mode or alert mode or whatever. Yeah, so smoke bombs super good, but commandos do see through the smoke grenade though. Just be aware, like the night vision dudes. I think they're just called the commandos. I'm not sure if I'm right or wrong, but yeah, the night vision dudes basically. And then sometimes they'll tear up the enemy, so sometimes there will be like the night vision dudes with the helmet. Yeah, super annoying combinations. Yeah, pretty much. I think who is like the most deadliest enemy is probably the armored infantry. Like yeah, probably I think the commandos are more deadly. You could actually do a slide attack, which I thought was pretty funny. I got bored and I just want to have a little fun and just slide tackle them. So you can slide tackle enemies. You can follow up by shooting them in the head, or make sure to get behind them when they're getting up. Unfortunately, there's no like downed, like when the enemy's on the ground. Sam will do like a stomp on the head or something. That would have been cool to see, like a wrestler move or something. So actually, yeah, you could just run behind him because he's an idiot and just stab this guy, the armored soldier in the back. I thought it was pretty funny. That I just decided to be a little cheeky and just run up behind him as he's like reacting to me, and I got the stab off in time. So I wouldn't recommend doing that normally. So you always do the choke out animation with the armored guys, and it's kind of like a long animation. You want to definitely use lethal to save you a bit of time. Especially if you're like surrounded and you need to kill people fast. Yeah, definitely you do want that. So for whatever reason, let's talk about more about HVT since this is the HVT round. HVTs do not show up on minimap. They have like a waypoint already, so they don't show up on the minimap. So do keep that in mind. Yeah. HVT could be anybody. It could be a regular soldier. Could be a commando. It could be even an armored guy. Like yeah, do be aware. Yeah, HVT could be anybody. So. The most annoying is, of course, if the HVT is an armored dude. That's the most annoying. Because you cannot knock out an armored dude in the middle of the street. Not without, like, not without setting it up. That's what I mean. Like, you can, but it takes a bit of setup to do that. So, since I think this is I'm not sure if this is the first time introduction to the armored guys, but since we did see an armored guy, Armored guys are vulnerable to attacks from behind and on the side. Make sure to never attack from the front though, and attacks from above. Yeah, above is this like if you can get above them and do a aerial takedown, that is the best. But if not, you can come up behind them, and that's the second safest takedown option. There's also other ways to kind of get around their armor and stuff. So what you want to do is throw a sleep gas grenade and then follow it up with a shot to their helmet, and it will knock it off so they'll inhale the gas. Since there's quite a bit of active frame on the sleeping gas, yeah, you can just do that, you know. Or if you have a precise shot with a sniper rifle, if you shoot kind of like in a gas mask area, they just die right there. So yeah, there's ways to get around and counter that. And that's gonna be it, guys, for Wave 6 to 10. I'll see you in the next part. Peace, guys.